Good practice number 4. The last 2, obviously with pads and longer practices. Just challenging the guys' competitive stamina, the physical, the mental piece of it. And really like how they were able to sustain the energy, sustain the effort and attitude. Right, just bringing juice, focusing on the next play. All those things that are cliches that are so important to success on the football field. So that was the challenge from a big picture from January when the guys brought high level intensity, and you narrow it down to each practice, even each period and each play. And so start to finish, high expectations, and these guys doing a good job picking each other up. Every play there's going to be a winner and loser, and so that side of the ball's got to keep the pedal down when you win, and the other side's got to react and respond the next one. So like what I see.
Noticed Latair Brooks with the boot yesterday, and then didn't see him today. Just what's going on with him health-wise?
Yeah, it won't be anything long-term or anything like that. So just be a little bit of recovery here. I don't know if it's day-to-day, but it's not going to be something that's extended.
What have you seen from the quarterbacks these last 3 days?
I think the biggest thing, practice 1 was good. 2, the installs become more and different things, and a lot of it's still base stuff for the most part that these guys have worked on. Spring, summer, but there was a couple just missed opportunities really between receivers or skill guys and the quarterbacks, and I thought the last 2 practices, those near misses have now been completions, and so that's what you like to see, where the plays are getting made. The plays are getting drawn up, and there's execution on a high level somewhere. And either you miss the throw, or sometimes maybe there's an offensive line breakdown of some type, or someone just a little closer and causing a little bit of distraction for the quarterback. But the last 2 days have really been better, and that's what you want to see.
What is Quay Rushaw's availability right now? So I was got the sleeve on his leg.
Mm-hmm.
What's he doing right now?
Yeah, he was out there taking team reps, and there's nothing as far as anything we're concerned about. The volume a little bit, just tweaked a little bit, but he's good and playing at a high level, and so just making sure we're careful. But he's good.
What have you seen from that room in general, the Wolf linebacker room, these first 4 days?
The competitiveness, guys that all want to make sure they're on the football field, and I trust them all. I really do. A lot of just high energy, high effort. They focus on playing at a high level, and great character, great personalities. A lot like what I would say in the quarterback room, where they all push each other in a healthy way. But there's some playmakers there, and they always do their job first and foremost as part of the defensive concept, whatever it's called. And I like the way they're getting to the quarterback and really pressing those edges. And they're versatile enough they can do a lot of other things too, where you put them in spots even once in a while in coverage.
Besides Jeremy and Ryan Williams, who are a couple of the wide receivers that are showing you that they can play multiple spots?
Mm-hmm. I think Rico's one of those guys, and he can play inside and outside. I think Isaiah could. We probably haven't just pushed him as much into there. Some of our formations and things we do, guys end up in inside and outside. So we do. It's not a secret. We do a lot of condensed splits and a lot of spreads. So guys find themselves across the field in a lot of different ways, and so that's what we want. We want guys that are extremely versatile. Can make the one-on-ones on the outside, but those matchups that we can really try to facilitate in different ways that they all have that opportunity. So I think Rico can do that and play inside outside, and I know Isaiah could if we used him a lot in that spot. And that's something I'm sure we'll add as we go through the year and you game plan certain situations.
He's not really built like a slot guy though.
No, he's not. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, but and what you want to do with him. But he's doing a great job. He's doing a really good job.
Saw Cam and Gino kind of manning the inside with the first team offensive line today. Jake Roberts was with the second team. Any indication on potential movement in that starting lineup, or why did you want to see both Cam and Gino play together?
Yeah, I think you gotta, you got the competitive piece, and then you also have this is what we would do, and just guys learning cross training in different positions, and Gino's got to play center on top of guard, and so he's a Swiss Army knife that way, and really important to us. And I really like the way he's developed coming back from a year ago. He's he clamps onto you and he stays connected. That's something I've seen really with his growth, and then he's comfortable in all those spots, and playing aggressively, playing confidently.
Do you want, I guess, both Jaden and Cam, do you want them to cross train at both guard spots as well? Is that kind of, or same with Olaus, what's kind of the plan there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they'd probably start out at their spots and get most of the snaps, but there might be small situations as we go through camp and see how it goes, and you want to kind of distribute some reps there just to get a guy in a pinch some reps that he feels comfortable with if he's put in that spot.
Coach, it seems like both your coordinators are very, very involved in individual position drills. How important is that to have two coordinators that are involved in the minutia of the game as well as the overall units?
Yeah, two great coaches that Kane and Grubb, just that understand not just one position, but they understand the details, the techniques, the fundamentals, and then are helping push. Just like when I'm around to a position group, the head coach is watching. You got those coordinators in there, and I love it. I love that they have that ability. We have position coaches that really can hold their position intact, and those guys can get around and evaluate, teach, push, and yeah, it's really great that Kane and Grubb can do those things.
Don't think we'll talk to you before Saturday, the scrimmage. Just what are you looking to get out of that? And from a quarterback standpoint, is there anything different rep-wise that you do compared to the spring scrimmages?
Probably very similar. The first scrimmage is always very similar probably to where you left off, and yeah, you're going to evolve a little bit here as the week goes on, but just a lot of base stuff. We did some situational work. We're, again, further along, critical moments. I mean, we're working clutch already, 2-minute today, something that maybe would have been another practice or two later. Just all those, third down, I feel like we're a little bit more dialed in on third down, fourth down situations even already today. And so the first scrimmage, though, is a little bit more basic. If we feel the need to get some backed up or, some goal line in there if we're ready, which a year ago we probably didn't push the issue on the goal line stuff in that first scrimmage as much. I think, that could be a possibility to run a few more reps. So a lot of the situational work, those critical moments that we know we got to be better at. I think that, get scrimmaging, and you got two scrimmages really here that we really put emphasis on that are big ones in the fall, and we want to make sure we maximize any opportunity we can get to get in those moments.
Noah Carter, what kind of growth have you seen from him year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. For Noah, questions about Noah Carter. I think it first starts with him and just his maturity, and it's not that makes it sound like he was immature. That's not the case. I'm talking about just everything he does as far as going about his business, preparation for a practice when he's out there. It's about every play, giving everything he's got, but learning from both what he's doing and now absorbing and learning from others, and that's what mature guys do. And I just love the way he goes out there, and there's a business-like mentality about him, and then just the production too. Physically, he's just taking those next steps, and you can see his production. He's in the right spot. He's able to hold his own, against matchups when the physicality has to take place. He's worked hard in the offseason to really get his body built up, and Baloo and the staff have done a great job. I think Noah's a guy that's absorbed all that, taking all that in, taking advantage of it.
Coach, we've talked to a lot of players, talked about team chemistry, and even yesterday, LT Overton said that's kind of back to you and that relationship. Do you see that team reflecting your personality?
The chemistry part, the part that I really push is, in the end, them holding each other accountable. On top of, yes, it starts with the coaches and myself. We got to be the culture leaders, but really where it really comes to life is from them. And when it means that much to them, and they're investing in the ownership that they have in the team, and not just the team as a whole, but the individuals. It starts with probably position groups and their side of the ball. Then, man, when it really catches fire is when each side of the ball can affect the other and influence each other, whether it's the personal relationships or what's happening on the football field, to where it gets testy, it gets physical, and it's only going to happen more and more as they get more wore down. How we responded, and I just love the direction it's going. I don't feel like you're ever there yet, and once you relax, it's going to start going the wrong way. And so LT would be a guy that really does a great job of making sure he takes care of himself, and then how's he affecting? He's setting the standard with how he wants the guys around him and those he comes in contact with, and offensively he's pushing those guys to the max in how he plays, but also just their mindset. And so yeah, I think I love the direction it's going. Again, we're never there. We're always going to be just short, but because if we do get there, it's going to start going the wrong way. So love the culture that's building within the team.
What have you seen from some of the newcomers in the tight end room?
Well, first, it's good to see Cuevas get back out there and get his reps and build that up. And I think there's a lot of learning going on. You got the 2 guys that came in. Really, there's 3 that came in the summer. The 2 guys transferring in, and Caleb from high school. So they're swimming a little bit, just with the physicality piece now that you put the pads on. But they've adjusted, I think, just in a way that I would expect. Here even today, I feel like there was growth from yesterday to today. There's first understanding your responsibility and executing your job. And the more reps they get at that, the more comfortable they get. But Caleb's got big target. Does a nice job. Is very savvy, instinctual. He's got some of that dual sport in him, and he feels comfortable out in space. And then I think Jack, physical, kind of a mauler type guy, and then Brody's done a nice job, I think, kind of in between. He's got that experience and got a lot of football under his belt, but he's also learning and getting used to playing every practice at the level we're playing. So yeah, those guys are doing a nice job adjusting.
How much more excitement do you sense for players to get into full pads and 5 contact?
Yeah, these guys are so focused right now on today, and that's what I love about them. That time's gonna come. They still even get tomorrow. We don't have a practice, and I just really like how we set up 2, 1 off, 2, and then 1 off as far as practices, to where they can go out there and they can play extremely fast. This next week will be now where they really grind and get into those padded practices, but they're just doing a great job of focusing on the moment. And so really answering that question, it'd be more about they haven't even thought about that yet. And I really truly believe that that's the case.
What have you seen from Jalen Bakwe this summer?
He's had a couple, more so, right now than the summer. Bach's made some nice plays here. He's actually gotten practice kicked off in a good way from an offensive standpoint with some big plays early on. And so, again, growth happening. That's fun. That's great to see. I feel like, any player, you're always looking, can you trust him to get lined up? Can you trust him to do his job? Those are really things that I'm not worried about with Bach. And so now it's just getting comfortable more and more with the offense and the timing and working with the guys around him. So the growth I would hope for is what I'm seeing. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.